Let's say China.
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 There are next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
You go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump's statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes. Hello. And welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened. The only news you need if you truly believe in the First Amendment of the Constitution. It's Wednesday, the 11th of October 2017, and today Donald Trump has decided to take on NBC. You thought I was going to say CNN, but no, today the enemy is NBC. He's even threatened to remove their license if they don't stop reporting what he is calling fake news. Unfortunately for Donald Trump, NBC doesn't actually hold a license. If he'd sort of looked into this, he would realize that individual stations within the network hold the licenses. But still, many are saying that threatening to stop the license of one of the biggest news outlets in the country is a direct attack on the First Amendment, which, as you know, is the one that talks about freedom of the press. So a lot of people are looking at this and saying, wow, so there is the President of the United States saying that he wants to ban a news network. I can think of one other politician, well, I can think of a few other politicians that have done that in history, and none of them are really remembered very favourably. More sort of remembered as dictators rather than actual politicians. But Donald Trump's tantrum today comes from when NBC ran a story saying that he wanted to increase the size of the nuclear arsenal. Well, he was very quick to point out that, no, I didn't want to increase it, I just want to keep it in tip-top shape. Yes, he actually said tip-top. So we're going to play what Donald Trump said, and this was in a meeting he had with the Canadian Prime Minister. This is the press briefing afterwards. And because he used the word tip-top, which I don't think anybody's heard for about 60 years, we're going to do this by getting in the So This Happened time machine and going back to the 1940s.
Hello and welcome to So This Happened with me, James Andrews. Today, the President of the United States continued his attack on the press of the world when he directly attacked the National Broadcasting Corporation. He also talked about nuclear weapons, whatever they are. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
No, I never discussed increasing it. I want it in perfect shape. That was just fake news by NBC, which gives a lot of fake news lately. No, I never discussed. I think somebody said I want 10 times the nuclear weapons that we have right now. Right now we have so many nuclear weapons. I want them in perfect condition, perfect shape. That's the only thing I've ever discussed. General Mattis put out a statement, or is putting out a statement, saying that that was fake news, that it was just mentioned that way, and it's frankly disgusting the way the press is able to write whatever they want to write, and people should look into it. No, I want to have absolutely perfectly maintained, which we are in the process of doing, nuclear force, but when they said I want 10 times what we have right now, it's totally unnecessary, believe me, because I know what we have right now.
You want no increase whatsoever, you're happy with it?
We won't need an increase, but I want modernization and I want total rehabilitation. It's got to be in tip-top shape.
Tip-top shape indeed, Mr. President. Tip-top shape.
Actually, it sounds just as ridiculous in the 1940s, doesn't it? Unbelievable. Anyway, so there's Donald Trump attacking the First Amendment. It's pretty incredible stuff. And other things today which are incredible. The Boy Scouts of America have announced plans to admit girls into the Boy Scouts and allow them to achieve the same high rank as boys. Now, this move has caused a lot of backlash and a lot of praise. One of the people, not surprisingly, attacking this is Donald Trump Jr. Yes, the elephant-killing fuck, Donald Trump Jr., decided to tweet this. Strange. I thought that's what the Girl Scouts was for. Question mark, question mark. And if you ever wanted to know where Donnie Jr. stands on issues, well, there you have it. I thought that's what the Girl Scouts were for. You're not having girls in the Boy Scouts. When I was a Boy Scout, we made fun of girls. We went, oh, girls. And now they're going to be in the Boy Scouts. What are we going to call it? The Boy/Girl Scouts? That's a silly name. And you're a silly man, Donald Trump Jr. Sit down with your brother Eric and fuck right off. Anyway, starting in 2019, girls will be allowed to become Eagle Scouts, which is a very prestigious honor here in the US. They have to complete a few volunteer service projects and other things. Now, enrollment begins in 2018, so next year. A lot of people are already getting excited about this. And it seems that the Boy Scouts of America are on a bit of a roll, aren't they, right now? Because in January of 2017, they announced that transgender boys were going to be allowed in the Scouts. Who would have thought the Boy Scouts would be like this progressive movement? It's incredible, isn't it? I was a Scout for a very short period of time. I hated it. I hated the climbing up trees, the running through the woods, and I didn't like... Mainly I just got beat up, to be honest, by the older boys. I hated it. But anyway, you know, if girls want to be Scouts, more power to them. That's brilliant. I love it. And another thing happened today, which I'm sure is going to really annoy Donald Trump if he ever sees the video. But the real Slim Shady, Eminem, put a video out today of him freestyling a rap about Donald Trump, and it was less than complimentary. And a few of my favourite lines are as followed, and I will apologise right off the bat. I am not a rapper in any way, shape or form. So when Eminem did it, it sounds much better than when I do it, okay? So here we go. We better give Obama props, because what we got in office now is a kamikaze that will probably cause a nuclear holocaust while the drama pops and he waits for shit to quiet down. He'll just gas his plane up and fly around till the bombing stops. Honestly, it's much better when Eminem does it. Sounds, I realise it doesn't sound great when I'm reading it, but it's quite good when he's doing it. Okay, here's another one. Racism's the only thing he's fantastic for. And that one's quite clever because it's referencing the Thing, who is orange. You see, Donald Trump's orange, the Thing's orange, so Fantastic Four. It's a number 4. It's clever. Next one he did about the NFL. This is quite good. He gets an enormous reaction when he attacks the NFL, so we focus on that instead of talking Puerto Rico or gun reform for Nevada. All these horrible tragedies, and he's bored and would rather cause a Twitter storm with the Packers. That's great. It goes on, sorry. Now, if you're a black athlete, you're a spoilt little brat for trying to use your platform or your stature to try to give voice who don't have one. I fucked that one up. To try to give those a voice who don't have one. And obviously that was in reference to the NFL players kneeling during the national anthem. I hope Eminem never hears this because I'm completely and utterly butchering it. Here's one on vets. This is a good one. It goes, he says you're spitting in the face of vets who fought for us unless you're a POW who's tortured, because to him you're zero because he don't like his war heroes captured. That's not disrespecting the military. That's a good one. That's obviously in reference to John McCain, who was, POW in horrific conditions, and Donald Trump said he prefers his heroes not captured. Classic, obviously. And then he ended up with this good little sort of thing to his fans that supported Donald Trump. He goes, any fan of mine who's a supporter of his, you're either for or against. And if you can't decide who you like more and you're split, oh, who you should stand beside, I'll do it for you. And then he stuck his finger up at the camera. So the president's yet to respond, and I can't wait till he does because it's going to be fantastic. I would love to see a Donald Trump Eminem Twitter war. I think that would be spectacular. I would really enjoy that. Anyway, if you want to hear Eminem do it, then you probably should listen to it, because what I just did was atrocious, and the music that you were playing in the background, that was fucking awful. Yeah. And then completely off topic, but I saw this video this morning, and I feel I just have to play the audio for you because, well, it doesn't even need an introduction. Okay, so just have a listen to this.
Praying for the people of Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico.
And you should, the best part is, okay, you have to look at the video, right? Because he says Puerto Rico. Melania looks at him like, what the fuck did you just say? It's like, dang it, fucking idiot, moron. You're a fucking, Rex was right. You're a fucking moron. Puerto Rico. We got to hear it again, don't we? All right, we'll play it one more time.
So praying for the people of Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
God, he really is a moron, isn't he? Anyway, we're going to stay with Donald Trump with the last story of the day. And you'll remember when he was talking about going to a state visit in Britain that he wanted the whole royal procession. He wanted to ride in the Queen's horse-driven carriage, and he wanted to be full of pomp and circumstance. He wanted to sort of play king for a day. Well, unfortunately for Donald Trump, it looks like that is not going to happen. When he goes to Britain later this year, or next year rather, it will be a no-frills state visit. There'll be no procession. There'll be no guard. There'll be no horse-driven carriage. There won't even be a meeting with the Queen. That's right. Her Majesty does not want to meet Donald Trump. And I can't blame her, for one. She's been around a long time. She's met a lot of dickheads. And she's like, you know what? I'm almost 100. I don't want to meet any more dickheads in my life. Is that okay? So just give them a cup of tea at Downing Street with the Prime Minister, and we're happy. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to be just a very standard state visit. He's just going to fly in and meet the Prime Minister, Theresa May, and there'll be no Queen, there'll be no procession. And, you know, part of this comes from a lot of protest. There was a huge petition that was signed in the United Kingdom to stop Donald Trump from coming to Britain. And a lot of politicians there have said that they don't think it was right that Donald Trump be given all the pomp and circumstance, that he doesn't deserve it. And Theresa May said, well, okay, we won't do that. Now, that could be a bit of political pressure on her because she's not the most popular person in the world right now, and this is sort of pandering to everybody. But anyway, it's a sad day for Donald, I suppose. He'll probably tweet something nasty about my homeland fairly soon, but that's okay. Anyway, listen, we are out of time for the day. It's been a fun one, as always, and apologies to Eminem for absolutely butchering his words. Anyway, we'll do it all again tomorrow. We can continue this conversation on Twitter, if you'd like, at So This Happened. And if you're over 30, I suppose Facebook is a way we could go. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. And if you feel like leaving me a nice little review on iTunes or wherever, they're always very welcome. I love reading them, I really do. And anyway, we will chat again soon. Well, we'll chat again tomorrow, actually, very soon. So anyway, take care. Good night.